Greetings, my dear and beloved children. To conclude our talk on destructive and constructive criticism, I would like to define more clearly these two types of criticism. As for the first type, everything is more or less clear, since any criticism that transmits the negative energies of anger, hatred, aggression or censure, simply its destructive nature can cause it to gain strength in the object criticized, be it a person or a situation. Now, we will focus on what can be identified as constructive criticism. We will make a review where I will offer you practical suggestions for overcoming a complicated situation. Above all, it is essential that you understand the causes that generate them, so that you do not repeat the mistakes of the past. In other words, constructive criticism offers you practical measures and solutions that apply to everything, both in your routine work and in the big picture. So it is essential that you learn to look at any situation not from the inside, but from the outside. What does this mean? You cannot focus your attention solely on the negative outcome, on trying to find those responsible for things as they are done. You have to go beyond the surface, to find the preconditions that have made things happen. For that, we will look at an example. In recent months, more and more information has come to light about different cases of violence, which is a real shock for many people. But if you look at the situation fairly, you will see that all this has been going on for a long time. From time to time, your media have spread information about this, expressed by conscientious people who were trying to sound the alarm bells. But, most preferred to ignore it, as it was too shocking to them. Some suspected that these events were hushed up out of fear, while others preferred not to believe that it has really happened. Therefore, all have had reasons not to interfere with other people's business. Therefore, in one way or another, these issues have gradually gone unpunished, and in this case, constructive criticism will not consist in raising the search for the guilty. According to the universal law of oneness, everyone is responsible for doing everything possible, so that this evil is eradicated from the earth. What can be done in this case? In addition to the impulses of love directed to all the victims, the citizens of each country must be vigilant and demand the adoption of laws that do not leave the slightest loophole for this type of activity. My dear ones, unfortunately the social separation that has been instilled in you has resulted in indifference to the pain of others and in collusion for the most serious human issues. Therefore, the time has come for you to return to your origins, by building a new life on earth, where the principles of oneness and personal responsibility for all that happens on the planet are respected. And I bless you for it. I will continue to talk to you about how the energy of helplessness can be transformed at the moment to bring forth your energy of creativity in your efforts to build the new reality where humanity will live in the very near future in this now. As I have mentioned several times before, if you cannot change at once a situation on the physical level, it is quite possible for you to change it in terms of energy. Unconditional love is the best tool that will help you in this here and now, as this energy is the building material from which the higher dimensional reality is made. Do the following exercise to achieve your purpose. Exercise. Try to imagine unconditional love, as a shining golden cloud, with which you envelop the place where you are, the people, your home, city, country, planet. At the same time, imagine the things you would like to see. For example, if you enter a store and you see people in a bad mood, imagine that the energy of unconditional love dissolves all the negative emotions. You will transform this space, because not a single negative energy or astral being will be able to resist the radiance of the unlimited unconditional love. Imagine people purifying themselves from the suffocation of their confusion. Look around you, and imagine them awakening from their slumber. Imagine them realizing the absurdity of the situation that has forced them to be in the lower vibrations. Watch as they visibly awaken, and begin to smile and glow, as the rays of this divine energy envelop them. perceive this image as clearly as possible. This new reality will not show itself immediately in front of you, it will first take place on a subtle level. In the consciousness of those who have been embraced by the purification of the surrounding space, through the flow of unconditional love. Of course, keep in mind that not all people will be able to tolerate these high vibrational energies, only pure human souls will. Therefore, do not be surprised if your impulse leads to aggression from certain people, as they will try to maintain their usual condition. An elevated soul will always accept this to your original energy, with love and gratitude, its consciousness will enthusiastically absorb this high divine vibration. Remember that you can always share this miracle of purifying love, only you must first overflow yourself with this creation of high frequencies. This is exactly the meaning of the adage that you have to be the change you want to see in the world. Now we will talk about how you can learn to remain in the state of unconditional love all the time, so that you can spill it into your daily routine and difficulties. For the state of unconditional love to settle in your energetic space forever, although it may seem ironic to you, you don't need to do anything. All action to do includes reasoning, and in this case, the mind needs to be completely isolated. It is in this way that the pure soul can remain effortlessly naked in its natural, dear and habitual original state of unconditional love. In other words, you have to learn to live with the fullness of your soul, and in that sense, I know that many wonder how they will be able to love those who are in darkness. In the first instance, you must know that it is not necessary for you to like them, because in the reality in which you find yourself, neither you nor they need it. They do not need it because the love energy is restricting them at the level of dual consciousness, therefore, due to the high frequencies you are interacting with at this moment. What you need to do is to stop generating negative thoughts and vibrations of fear, aggression or censorship. Exactly speaking, what they are looking for are lower frequency energies to keep feeding on, and not your love, because it is fatal to them. I know it is difficult for you to understand this, but try to imagine creatures of the lower order that will not be able to survive on the energies of unconditional love. Because it is a type of nutrition that does not allow them to sustain themselves in the lower frequencies. You cannot hate them in spite of their appearances, because even with the best will in the world, they will not be able to develop spiritually, therefore, they cannot love as you and other human souls can love. So, if you take this concept for granted, you will not waste your energy, nor your spiritual force in their salvation or censorship. You must understand that unconditional love exists by itself, it cannot be directed by anything, or anyone. It must simply be, allowing you to live it within you, as a manifestation of your divine source. You must make this very natural and beloved condition of your soul, a permanent aspect of your being. This is how you will overflow from within and expand your unconditional and unlimited love, beyond limitations, as you embrace the whole world and every living being. You will have no trouble recognizing who is a living being who is willing to accept your gift. Then it is that you will facilitate the laws of the universe coming into effect, all will unfold for the greater good of all, an aspect that is beyond the limited third-dimensional human mind. And I bless you for it. Today we will stop here. I love you to no end. I am your absolute Father who has spoken to you, through Martha.
The dissemination and circulation of this message is highly recommended. However, remember to always use your discernment in relation to these texts. You have free will, please use it, and most importantly, listen to what your heart tells you, because he is the truth. Let your heart guide you into this time of irradiation on a larger scale, of the new energies carriers of joy.